Okay, so to begin with, I have to make an apology because my study mainly concentrates on the philosophical studies, and it's quite different from the previous discussions here. Yet, since the host mentioned, I'd like to make a brief introduction of the Institute of Semiotics and Media Studies in Sichuan University. We have a bilingual journal here. Okay, you can take if you would like to. Okay, and we also have a Center for Industrial Semiotic Studies. Unfortunately, I am a scholar whose research field mainly focus on linguistics and philosophies. So maybe what I'm talking about here is different from what you heard before. But it's always good to listen to different opinions, isn't it? So anyway, the title of my presentation today is Cultural Markedness, Proposal of a Semiotic Model. Okay. So what is markedness? Markedness refers to the assumption of the two opposite items, of which the marked item is used infrequently and the unmarked item is used relatively frequently. This phenomenon is quite common in linguistics, with many in-depth discussions made. The idea was originally raised in linguistics by a Russian linguist whose name is Tubskoy in his letter to the semiotician Roman Jacobson. He raised this problem, and this idea remained as much for almost 80 years. For instance, the assumption between a voiced consonant and its voiceless counterpart is universal in almost all languages. The voiced is always less used, due mainly, as argued in linguistics, to the additional morphological feature of the vibration of the vocal chord. Okay. Also, the use of language is always related to cultural issues. For example, both in English and in Chinese, when we're asking about someone's age, we ask, how old is he? 他今年多大了? 大 and old. Instead of how young he is, okay, how little. Why? Because in the traditional society, the older one is well respected because they have a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom, especially in agricultural society, okay? And we often ask, how much do you weigh, or how heavy are you, instead of how light are you? 你多重了, okay? Why heavy is unmarked and light is marked? Unmarked means something normal or good, okay? Because in the past, maybe food was scarcity and only rich men can get, heavy set, okay? So in today's society, we no longer take being old or heavy as a merit. However, we keep using language in this way while unaware of the change of markedness in culture. Okay, actually in today's culture, I guess the old are marked and the young are unmarked because being young is something good. Okay, something we dream of. Okay. So markedness has been indeed discussed in social cultural studies, most of which concentrate on the assumption of cultural binaries, okay? And the most obvious example is the male and the female opposition, okay? For example, now we say we say police officer, but in the past we say policeman. Now we have policewoman, of course. And in Chinese, we use they, 他们, okay? 他们 for they, for all people, is the male 他, okay? So it's quite strange. People can't find reasons why people do this. And we use human refers to men and women, Okay, human, man, man-kind. Why not human-kind? Why history, not herstory? Okay, it's very interesting. Okay, yet linguistics have not succeeded in finding general rules of markedness in languages. Although there are so many phenomena, okay, many linguistics acknowledge that markedness in language, though recognized as universal, is still hardly explainable by a constant theory. After we examine the various proposals on markedness in linguistics, the famous linguistic Bastianini concludes that none of them is either fully worked out or wholly consistent, and Habermas goes far as to propose straightforwardly to abandon the wild goose chase. The concepts that it denotes are not helpful. Okay, so the one scholar who given this diglocentric thrust the most powerful push is Professor Augusto Peng. Okay, he is an Italian semiotician, okay, who argues that any signification and interpretation is a dialogical activity, since meaning always involves relations with others, and therefore ethical. Semiotics has now refocused globally or undisciplined in Peng's term, and therefore the modern now is not a morphological but ethnic. It's now time for cultural semiotics to shed light on the quagmire of markedness. Okay, so learning is a social right, which submits itself to metalingual rules, which often appears as social consensus in the service of the interest of certain social groups, but is supposedly acceptable and fair to others. Most people adopt social consensus naturally, without doubt, because it's a habit, okay? We just get used to it. Not because they agree, but because they don't know they could disagree, thanks to the education they have internalized, or to the scare of being isolated, or simply to the habit of following the majority. Okay, so regarding any cultural meaning, we say not a binary opposition, but a tripartite division. The one for it, the one against it, and the one for it because of giving up the right to oppose it. Okay, so we turn binary relation to a relation of three parties. Okay, this presentation calls the three parties as the positive, the negative, and the middle. Okay, the positive and the negative as the two poles in binary oppositions have already been much observed and abundantly discussed in linguistics, and the terms unmarked and the marked respectively. Now the question the linguistics have failed to find a reply to why the opposition is always asymmetrical. Okay, in semiosis, it is obvious that because the positive wins the middle over to form the unmarked block, so as to marginalize the negative, making it marked. Thus, the very definition of the positive is a party that carries along the middle in its meaning construction, whereas the negative is marked because it is isolated from the meaning adopted by both the positive and the middle. The tripartite situation can be diagrammed as following. Okay, so here is a diagram here. Okay. So the unmarked part include both the positive and the middle, and the negative part is marked. Okay. So it is noticeable that the middle, the either or neither nor between the first two, is a semi-diagonal but not overlapping with the positive, while the negative is metonymical to the unmarked in the paradigm. Okay, so I'll skip some pages. Okay, and to give you some examples. So we call the choice, the tendency of the middle as the reclining of the middle. Okay, so reclining of the middle plays the most essential role in stabilizing society. Okay, it is impossible to eliminate the evil. Okay, since the unmarked has to be defined by the marked. Okay, and here's the crucial thing here is not the action but naming. For naming is marking, and the unmarked cannot afford to neglect the naming. It is said in 水经注 commentaries on waterways, 6th century Chinese classics of geography. Confucius himself refused to stay here for the night and refused to drink from this safe spring because he hated the name. So there is a spring. Its name is Safe Spring. So Confucius, the saint. Okay, 孔子 Confucius. Okay, 孔子拒绝就是在那个喝那个倒泉的水，因为他恨那个名字，我们都知道这个。He hated the name. So the naming is modeling. The process of naming is the process we mark something. Okay. Another thing important for the positive is, in order to maneuver the middle, it has to maneuver the standard of the unmarkedness, reducing it sufficiently so as to receive the great food for the saints and the greater evil for the devils, so that most elements of the middle could remain relatively good as the tiny good behaviors are considered good, while they're not, that evil behaviors can escape from being marked. Okay, so we can find many examples here: normal, abnormal, wise, foolish, noble, infamous, healthy, sick, sober, insane, civilized, barbarian. Okay, blah blah blah. Okay, so we can say the recycling of the middle is indeed an act of communication coded in unmarkedness that justifies its reposition. Okay, however, unlike linguistic markedness, cultural markedness is always changing. So in today's society, men marked or women unmarked? Men or women, the unmarked one. We know in the past, women are the marked ones because we use, policeman, human, such words. Okay, in cultural studies, we will find, women wear makeups, women dress themselves, right? However, today, we have new models. We have fashion industry for men, right? Okay, we can say in the past, especially in the primitive society, men, not women, wear tattoos on their body, right? Because they have to win the admiration from women. But in modern society, it's women who tattooed, who dress up. But now, you can see the famous picture of Peng. Okay, men have to dress themselves to attract women. Okay, it's very interesting. And things are especially interesting in China because in Chinese society we have some people call Chinese civilization as a feminized society because you can see Li Yugang, a Chinese pop singer. Okay, the male one is Li Yugang and the female one is also him. Okay, so it seems that in China the markedness of genders, this problem is more complicated than we imagined, than what happened in Western culture. Okay, and the markedness of marriage. Okay, now you can never see these pictures in the past. Okay, but now, the markedness of marriage is changing. Okay, someone says that in today's fashion industry, you have to claim you are a gay or a lesbian to be popular. I don't know whether it is true, but yes, this is a very interesting phenomenon. Okay, and you can see here. Okay, this picture. Okay, the markedness in changing in people's dressing style. Okay, dressing code. Okay, this picture is taken in Cultural Revolution. Okay, you know that? 文化大革命. Okay, yeah. And okay, this one is unmarked one, unmarked dressing style because okay, it's the clothing of 工农兵. Okay, clothes is for workers, peasants, and soldiers because these people are well respected at the time, right? But now, okay, this is a picture of Chen Xiaochun. Okay, a Hong Kong pop star, his picture with his wife. Now, these clothes are marked. It is taken as something unusual. Okay, they wear it to get married. Okay, it's like a wedding gown or something like that. It's very interesting. Okay, okay, and we find that okay, subcultures or countercultures tend to mark itself, to be self-remarked, okay, to stay different from the main culture, okay. However, the subculture are self-marked in full or signifier, okay. They don't challenge the main values, the main style. They don't take a challenge, okay. So the markedness, the self-markedness are still in forms, okay. However, the counterculture, for example, okay, which okay challenges values, which challenges meanings, okay, sometimes they can subvert people's values. For example, this picture, okay. Now, okay, when we talk about the Vietnam War, we think it's okay, something very bad. And this one, we know people in Qing dynasty wear pigtails, right? Pigtails, okay, like this, okay. So, okay, pigtails are something unmarked in Qing dynasty, but in the revolution, okay, people cut the pigtail. It becomes something marked. However, it's not just a term of markedness in form. We don't just cut someone's pigtail. We have to teach them. This stands for a bad value, right? Okay, so that's the difference between counterculture and subculture, okay? And how should we treat the cultural markedness? Okay, in the Record of Warring States, 这个列国记哈, a Chinese history classic dated as early as okay, is there any problem? Okay, there could be found a policy toward the marked adopted by two legendary leaders of prehistoric China. Okay, Shun, as Chinese people know, Shun dances with Miao people. Shun 和苗族的人一起跳舞，少数民族的舞蹈。Okay, and Yu stripped entering the market land. Okay, so there is a kingdom, okay, people all keep naked here, so goes to Rome and do what Romans do, okay, so when the Chinese civilization was barely taking off, our ancestors had already understood how to handle the marked. It is imperative to name it, to tolerate it, and turn it into unmarked. Okay, so wisdom of our ancestors maybe could help us to build a more tolerant attitude towards the marked ones. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Okay.